Hi, welcome to Robyn's Roost. Today we are going to make a card that uses a quilting technique. I believe it's called the Vanishing 9 Square or something like that. But what you're going to do is you're going to cut little squares and use them to create a card. So these 1-inch squares are going to get layered onto a piece of adhesive sheet, and then you're going to cut it up into quarters. So here's the card that we're going to be making. And let me just flip the camera and we'll get right at it. So here we have all of our supplies that we're going to need to make this card. There is a thick Whisper White card base, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of the sheet adhesive that has been cut 3 by 3, a piece of regular basic white paper that is 3 by 3, a 3 1/4 square of basic black, and then sitting on the basic black I have 9 1-inch squares that I've cut from my scrap paper. So I pulled a whole bunch of scrap paper that was all kind of fall colors, so I went for the browns, and there was some foiled paper in there as well. I couldn't honestly tell you the names of all these different scraps, but you know, if you're a stamper, you probably have a pile of scraps around. And it looks great with any color, just whatever your theme is. If it's a spring card, use spring colors. If you're making a Christmas card, go for Christmas colors. And then I have the happy little bit late birthday, because I'm always late. It's just who I am. I can never keep it all together. And this is from the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the first protective sheet off of this, and this is our sticky, and we're going to line this up. Go ahead and pop that on. You can see I was a little bit off. Let's see if we can peel this back, and that is going to that's what we're going to stick all of our little squares onto. So I don't get super worried about little spaces here and there. If you're a perfectionist, this card might drive you crazy. Just a warning. So I'm going to start in the corner, lining it up, and then I'm just going to work my way across, butting these tight to each other, trying to keep them straight. And of course, I don't always cut things perfectly straight, so you might do better at that than I do, but it seems like my stuff is never square and perfectly straight. So I'm just going to keep working across. And like I said, I don't worry too much about how perfectly square it is. And that's just because I seem to do better if I just slap it on. The less I worry about it, the better it seems to turn out. Okay, once you have it all on there, give it a good burnish so it sticks, and then just take a scissors and see if you have any overhang. And then do the same thing the other direction. It's just, ooh, something was really crooked there. Let's just trim this though, because I'm afraid we'll have sticky stuff if I don't take it off. Okay, so we're going to have that all trimmed up. Then we're going to pull our trimmer back in. And we're going to go ahead and cut this in half. So it was a 3-inch square. So we're going to cut it at 1 1/2. And then we're going to take and cut each of these pieces 1 1/2. So you're going to end up cutting this into quarters. And this is where you get to play around with it. So, you know, there's a variety of ways that you can lay these on here, right? Because you're going to put them together not the way they came apart. So I would suggest that you experiment a bit. You know, try it one way. I kind of like it that way, but I mean, you can spin each piece up and down. Probably don't want that because those two are lined up, but just go ahead and play with them until you have them the way you like it. And then you're just going to take your adhesive and go ahead and glue those down. And you're going to leave an equal edge around of the black. And I like to not push them down very firmly until I actually have them kind of all in place, so that I know that I've got my my borders pretty even. It doesn't have to be perfect unless you're a perfectionist, and then I know it needs to be perfect. So I can see that this edge here is going to be quite a bit more. And what I'll probably do is put it back on my trimmer and trim it off. So I'm just going to bring my trimmer back in and give this one edge just a snippet. Oops. There, now I just snippeted everything. Just give it a little bit of a haircut. Okay, just barely. Okay, so now we're going to mount this on our card base. And this is just a great way to use up some of those little scraps that you're saving. You know, a lot of times you end up with like a 1-inch strip off of a 12-inch piece of designer paper, and this is a great way to use these. You can do one of these backgrounds for a scrapbook page. You could even make it bigger. There's lots of fun things you can do with this stick and cut technique. So then we're just going to put our greeting on here. And this is just tuxedo black ink. Now, isn't that cute? I'll have to say that the longest process in making this card was actually pulling out the designer series paper out of all my different scrap bins. Now, if you wanted, you could put a decoration right in the center, something that matched your designer series paper. Maybe there was a leaf in the paper, you know, a nice maple leaf or something to put in the middle. Or you could just leave it plain like this. Great, fairly simple card for maybe a man in your life that you want to send a little happy belated birthday to. So hope you enjoy this little card making technique and have a great day. Thanks for stopping by the Roost.